before I get into the 80-20 rule, I gotta know who you are. Because if you don't fit this characteristic, then it's not gonna work for you and it's not gonna change your life. So I don't wanna waste your time. So first, are you ambitious? Are you do you want to be an entrepreneur or a creative, or are you aiming to be a high achiever in your life? Do you feel like there's so many things you got to get done throughout the day? Do you feel like you're not making progress in your life, even though you're working so hard on the things you want to make progress in? Have you been working on something for hours straight every single day, and yet you don't see any progress coming your way? If you answer yes to any of those questions, stick around because I'm going to show you how to turn everything around using the 80-20 rule. I know I'm being very vague about what is 80-20 rule, but I just want to set the scene of what you're going to get, because once I tell you this rule, all that stuff that's holding you down is going to change, and suddenly you're not going to have to-do lists anymore. You're going to be laughing at them like, what? A to-do list? I don't need that. You need that anymore. You're going to be doing way less things than you're doing right now, and you're going to be making progress, and now you're going to have so much more time to do other things like hang out with your friends, read books, go for walks, work out without feeling guilty like you're wasting time doing these things when you should be working, because you'll actually be getting so much work done that you won't feel guilty for doing anything else for the rest of the day. You feel me? So hopefully I've done my job in kind of setting the scene for what this 80-20 rule is going to do for you. And it's everything that I just mentioned is what happened to me. Okay? So I'm the ambitious entrepreneur, creative high achiever. I was the one with all these to-do lists and wanting to, me spending hours on things and not making any progress, and wanting to do all these 100 different things and never really making any progress, and just my life was just feeling stuck. That was me. Then I learned the 80-20 rule, and now I get all my work done. I spend like 4 hours a day working, and then the rest of the time I literally just do what I want by learning the 80-20 rule. So, what is the 80-20 rule? I know you're gonna hate me, but before I get into that, who am I? My name is Faith, and my goal is to help entrepreneurs, creatives, and high achievers reach their goals by helping you take action, stay consistent, and make your goals happen. Now, 80-20 rule. I've been dragging it out long enough. What is it? Basically, it means that 80% of the things you get come from 20% of things you do. For instance, 80% of the population holds 20% of the wealth. You can also say 20% of the population holds 80% of the wealth. You can also say a company's products, 20% of a company's products accounts for 80% of its revenue. So what that means is a few things a company sells gives it most of the money it gets. And in case of you wear 20% of your wardrobe 80% of the time. So you spend most of your time just wearing a small amount of things. Now, hopefully this is starting to click, but what this ultimately means is it's the smallest things that give the biggest results. And what I find so many people doing is they don't think about what are the small key things I should be working and focusing on when it comes to my goals and what I want to achieve. Instead, they say, oh, I want to get there. Okay, well, let me look at the 80% of things. Let me make a whole to-do list, and let me make plan after plan after plan, and let me do all this looking up researches, information to get everything I need to know. And then they get all this information, and they get overwhelmed because it's too much, and they just can't do anything. And then they try to focus on all those things, and they don't make any progress, and they're putting in 12, 13-hour work days trying to see progress, and no progress is happening. Why? Because they're focusing on the 80%, which is going to give them 20% of results. So are you starting to see how, if you're doing so much, if you're not figuring out what you should really be focused on to make the most progress on your goals, you're going to be focusing on everything that doesn't matter. You can be giving all your time and energy to that, and your life is not going to change. And when I learned that, my whole life changed, because I suddenly had the freedom to drop every single thing I was doing in my life and to only focus on, and to actually look for the things that actually mattered. And once I started doing that, then I was like, okay, well, what do I want? I've always wanted to start a business, and the one thing holding me back was this big list of things I need to do. Like, okay, I have to make a business plan, but then I gotta make a logo, and then I gotta make Instagram accounts and make my banners and all these stupid little things that don't matter. And then I gotta make a blog account, like all these things that didn't matter. I would spend so much time doing those things. Like I literally spent money, like finding people on Upwork, having long conversations with them, hiring different people to make different logos for me. Like I went deep into this stuff. I went deep into it, thinking I was making progress. But when I learned the 80-20 rule, I was able to say, okay, what are the smallest things I can be doing on my business to make progress? And what I learned was have a product, get it from the people, sell it. Now I'm actually focused on what truly matters instead of doing all these easy, simple things that don't really get the ball moving. I spend a couple hours focused on the 20%, those three things, and then I just spend the rest of my day doing whatever I want. And it's just that simple. By just knowing the smallest things I need to be doing to get my business moving, now I'm doing that. And you don't have to spend all day on it. You spend some time, like a few hours focused. You only really focus on knowledge work if you do knowledge work for so long. So I'm not gonna try to do 8 hours of hardcore work because that's just gonna burn me out. Gotta be consistent, you feel me? So you do like 3-4 hours on the small, most important things. Do that every day. You're gonna make so much progress in your life, and then you have so much more time to do other things instead of just focusing on work. Because yes, work is important, but so are the other aspects of your life, and you don't deserve to focus always on work and rid yourself of the other pleasures of life. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I kind of went on like a little rant. Like, I don't know, I feel like I kind of lost sight of where I was going to take this conversation. So I feel like I honestly should make another video, another topic on this. Maybe I will. I don't know, I always feel like when I get towards the end of the video, I feel like I was just talking. None of it's just making sense. So, hopefully that did make sense. If it did, let me know. Now remember, take action, stay consistent, make your goals happen, and I will see you later.